Once again, the creative pirate here, the rum soaked pirate, either one is fine. So what we're gonna do now, we're gonna continue finishing the second part of the blender. If you've seen part one, then we did the base, the button, and the component where the button goes. Now we're gonna finish the USB plugin section, and then we're gonna continue the rest of the model. Okay? So let's dig in. So now we're gonna take the face, click. So we can 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and let's okay. And then maybe if we did 4, let me see. No. Okay. So anyway, let's. Okay, perfect. So now we're gonna need to insert this. It's already the right size, so we're not gonna do anything but press W, shift click and push it in. This was gonna go a little bit deeper than what we did before. Maybe about, yeah, it says let's just go around here, that's fine. And we're just gonna leave that like that for now. We do the rest later on. We're just gonna leave the insert. So now we're gonna take the edge, object mode, edge. We're gonna take these edges and we're gonna bevel these edges, right? Bevel edge. Now what we are gonna do is just 1, 2, 3. We're gonna make it tight. And 5. Let's make it a little bit tighter. Let's leave it there because it looks like it does have some. And here we go. That's our insert, right? And we should also do the inside, and then later we can just extract what we need. But right now this is fine. You know, this is just for tutorial purposes, and I don't want to drag it on too long so that you guys get bored. So we're gonna take those edges, bevel that edge, and we can round it off to about 4 and tighten it up. There you go. Our base is done, and I'm happy with that. Now we're gonna have to clean up. Let's press H, 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 select everything, edit, delete by type history, edit, delete by type non-deformer, modify freeze, modify center, right? So we're gonna start renaming this because if not, we're gonna have a bunch of geometry without. So we're gonna put blender underscore base, double click, button underscore surround, double click, we're gonna call this power button. And then here we're gonna call this, let's see what can we call this, guys? I'm trying to think. I stayed blank. Can you actually believe that? Anyway, we'll name it later. Let's just work with it. Command E, W. We're gonna push it up and leave it around there, right? And so we're gonna leave that there for now. The cool part of working with other stuff that we've done, for example, taking this face from there, is because it fits perfectly into the slot. So if you're ever gonna move it, it'll fit right in, right? And it's exactly where it needs to be. You can even pop it up a bit more, but that's perfect where it is. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna skip the center for now. We're gonna do the main body and then we'll come back to the accessories. So how can we do this? We've already got a baseline. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take face, we're gonna take, right? Yeah, we're gonna take this face. I'm trying to think how we should approach this. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's do it this way. Click, shift, double click. We're gonna grow out to about here. So we're gonna period, shift period to about there. And then we'll press W. Shift click and drag that all the way up. Oops, sorry. Duplicate face. I am so sorry, guys. We're gonna duplicate this face. Object mode. Click on it. Press modify. Send to the pivot, and we're gonna flatten this out, right? So what we're doing is basically we're assuring that when we pull this down from the top, we can slide right up in here. So let's just do what we gotta do for now. So I am gonna close this hole eventually, so don't worry about that. Or I might just delete this whole face. Let's just see. But we're gonna click this edge. W, shift click and drag, right? I'm trying to think how we should approach this. Huh. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a way to push this out without. So let's do this. E, J, we're gonna flip it all down, right? Because we're gonna get rid of this face anyway, right? So we're gonna push it down because this screws into here. Right? Edge. Now this is what I should have done. I'm gonna push it all the way up to here. Right? I'm gonna push it to about there. I'm gonna press edge. R, shift click and push it out. Right? And then W. And I'm gonna shift click and drag it all the way up to the top. And I'm gonna have to do the same thing here. So R, right, to about there. Again, we're making pieces from existing pieces so that everything fits into where it's supposed to. So now R, shift click and drag, a bit tighter. W, shift click and drag to about there. Now, what are we gonna do? To do the top, we're gonna leave that there, face, shift, double click, duplicate this face, right? Object mode, W. Now this one, okay, so now this one, what we're gonna do is we're gonna press W, and we're gonna modify center pivot. Here we're gonna work opposite. Here, since we know what it is, we're gonna go from there. Shift click down. Oops. Edge. Shift click and drag down. Right? And did I do this right? Let's see if I'm leaving space in here. Yes, I'm leaving space. Okay. So we're gonna keep dragging it down. We're gonna press R. You're gonna shift click and drag to make sure that it goes where it needs to be, so right around there. W, shift click and drag this up. Right around there. And now shift right click. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna try to do these together. So R, shift click and drag to sorry. Shift click and drag to it matches. Huh, that's strange. Let's try something. Yeah, so we're gonna have to do these separately. So R, shift click and drag. I'm doing the inside first. So that I can see, and then I'm gonna merge to the center. And then here edge. I'm gonna R, and I'm gonna merge these to the center. Face. So now, if you look at it, I'm gonna bring it back, but if you look at it, we have this fits into this perfectly if we're gonna screw it on, and this fits into this if we're gonna screw that on. That's what we needed. So we killed, again, as I always say, two birds with one stone. Here, we're gonna have to add this piece here because we didn't do it here. And I think we didn't finish that in the bottom. Nope. So let's go back a minute. And the way we do is we take face, click, shift, double click. And this is a trick that I always do to make sure that, you know, things are nice and tight. I press Command E. Offset it a bit. Right? Command E, thickness. Command E, thickness. Command E, thickness. Command E, offset. What I just did there was this. If I press 3, that's what we want. If you notice, by pressing 3, I noticed that we also skipped a part here. We don't want this garbage. This is garbage geometry. So we press edge, double click, shift right click, bevel that edge, and let's give it some segments. Let's not make it too wide because, perfect. Now if we press 3, that's beautiful geometry, guys. That's what we want. So let's select and press 1 again. Now the glass, let's concentrate on the glass, press Command 1. And so what we can do is, we're gonna have to get rid of this face. You know what? Let's get rid of this. No, you know what? Let's do this a different way. Let's get rid of that. We're gonna stretch this out, right? Make it wide to about there. That's about as wide as we want the glass, right? And the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna work our way up. What do I mean? Because I want to then unite that with this edge, but I want the same width that I started with. So I'm gonna press W, and here we go. We're gonna go to this side, and we're gonna press Shift, click, and drag up. We're gonna go a little bit higher, right? Because we don't want it clashing. Let's look at it from the top. We don't want it clashing. We want it right above the line, right? Thick enough. R and edge. I'm sorry. This is okay. Shift, click, and drag to the width that we want, which I should give it a bit more. I think that's fine. Let's not go too wide. Now we're gonna press W. Now we have to pay attention when we go up here. We're gonna press W, shift click and drag, and that's gonna give us the thickness of the glass that we need. Right around there, right? We don't want it too tight. Now zoom out here so you can see what you're working with. So, I'm trying to think that yeah, we're gonna have to bring it in. Oh, you know what? This is what's going on. See, this is what I mean. You have to pay attention. You have to widen it out a little thicker to match. That's what I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? Shift, click, and drag till it passes that point. So we're gonna go to about here. W, shift, click, and drag up. That's perfect. All the way up to here. To make sure that these are even, you're gonna click the vertex here and you're gonna press R. That makes sure that they're perfectly straight. Object mode. And to finish this off, we're gonna take the edges and we're gonna edge, and we're gonna bridge them. Bridge. And the problem here is the twist, so we have to reduce the twisting, which it shouldn't do that. So, oh, I'm sorry, twist. Yeah, that twist is killing me. Something's off. So let's do this again. Bridge 1. Let's see if this works now. Yep, that's what we wanted. And we have our glass. That's simple. All we have to do now is bevel the edges that we need, and we are finished. So let's do so. So since it's glass, it's not sharp, we're gonna have to do these all at once. And the reason why I didn't do the bottom is because it's already beveled from when we started. So we don't want to mess that up. We have a problem here, guys. We don't like what's going on here. Hold on a second. That did not extrude well. Because if you see it's not connecting, it's going to give us problems. Why is it giving me that? I don't want that twist. And it's giving me something I don't want. I don't. Huh. That's weird. So we're gonna have to do this one by one. You know what? Actually, let's be smart. Let's bridge these, and let's just cut them with a knife because we're gonna go crazy doing what we were just doing. So, oh yeah, it doesn't matter, guys. It's gonna be a pain in the ass anyway. So let's just finish this. Or the other way we could do this, guys, is I'm such a crazy person. We can do this. Shift click and drag halfway. Shift click and drag and then bridge it. It's still doing it. Why? Okay, another thing we can do is I'm going to show you guys another technique. We can take the vertices, press W, and with the vertex selector, we can go to target weld, and we can just click and drag. So this is another technique we can use. And what it's doing, it's taking the vertices and it's dragging them to the target that you're giving it. So as you can see, we're going much faster. I always think of things along the way. Guys, you have to understand, I've had to learn so many programs that sometimes every tip and trick does not come to mind. It just pops in there. But as you can see, this one here is a great one for you guys to learn. Is a great one for you guys to learn because instead of doing what we did, look how fast we're going around the bend. Again, I've had to learn all the Adobe Creative Clouds, Maya, Keysha, the old Substance Painter, the new Substance Painter when Adobe took it over, 3ds Max, Blender itself. I mean, a lot, guys. There's a lot of stuff, and each one has its conveniences. Again, you guys are probably gonna argue with me about this one, but I do not like 3ds Max. People try to say it's the same thing as Maya, and it is not. Um, because it's a pain. Let's see if this worked. Object mode, press 3. Perfect. Now we bevel our edges. So let's continue where we were. Shift double click, shift double click. Every time you see that the rings keep growing, is because I'm shift double clicking. Nothing special. And like I said earlier, this is glass, so we don't want it to be sharp like if it was an edge of a metal. So we're gonna bevel this edge softly. 1, 2, and push it a bit. I think I'm happy with that. Press object mode, and there's your glass. Command 1. We're gonna ungroup this. Edit, ungroup. Press G to keep ungrouping what we had. We're gonna hide the lid. We're gonna rename this. So we're gonna call that glass. G. Lid. Get in the habit of naming your pieces, guys, because it's important that when you're dealing with clients and they want to look at this, they don't know what's going on. So I have something here called poly surface. I don't know what this is. Okay, that's what that is. Okay, so right now that's the only thing we don't have. Named, edit, history, non-deformer, freeze, center. And I'm gonna save this one because this is a big project and I do want to continue this. So we're gonna call this Blender tutorial V1, because if something happens and we do something like an animation, we don't want to mess up V1, which is the main one. So we're gonna do all our work in V1 as modeling, and everything else is gonna be V2 and V3. So the way we're gonna approach this now is we have to, this is done. We need some supporting edge loops in here, at least 3 per side. So mesh to insert edge loop. Let's put 4 here. We're gonna add 4 here and 4 here. Whenever you want to, buddy. Here we go. Okay. Object mode. Now, if you want to see something cool in Maya, if we're working here and you want to see through this, all you gotta do is Command 1. Let's show everything. Yeah, let's show everything. And you can assign a new material. Assign a new material. Let's call this my fungi, which now you can see the difference between the Lambert and the Fang. Same thing here. You see how sharp that is, and you see how this is a bit matte. And now what we can do is, if you wanna, we can change the transparency a bit to look like glass. So we can see where, what is that? It's like something in there, right? No. Ooh. Huh. There's something weird going on in here. I don't know what's going on, but okay. We'll figure it out when we do the model. Oh, there's no faces in the middle here, so I don't know what that is. Okay. I guess we'll figure it out when we go to the texturing phase, the UVing. So anyway, let's show the lid, and now we're gonna continue with our lid. Before we do anything here, we're gonna try to work this out here and then reset. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna insert an edge loop here and then one here, right? And we have to be very smart about how we're doing this. So we're gonna take, because if we select too deep, we're gonna select something we don't want. So what we do want is these faces here. You see the problem? It didn't give me that inside loop. It gave me the edge where I didn't want it. Let's try that one more time. Let's take this edge from the outside. We're gonna push it to there. Face. Q. We're gonna take these faces. And we're gonna press W. Right? You know what? I am kind of doing this wrong. Okay, we're gonna have to do this a little separately. I didn't want to do it this way, but first let's do something smart here. Let's click outside. What I'm about to do is gonna save you a lot of work in the long run, because if you pull from this edge and you don't have a supporting edge loop, you're gonna have a lot of problems later on. So I'm just adding this in here. And then now, let's go back to where we were, face. We're gonna click these faces up to here. And I'm gonna press W, shift click and drag. And I'm gonna press vertex. I'm gonna push these vertices up to here. And then here, later on we'll fix that. So let's take this. And what we're gonna do is, you're gonna press R. You know, let's do something else, guys. Hold on, give me a minute. Let's be a little bit smarter about this. Let's work a different way. Let's work in theory. We're gonna push this down to about here, because once this curves up, it's gonna all fall into place. So don't worry about it. So let's just leave it here for now. Okay, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna take face. We're gonna select those same faces again that we had. Make sure we don't select nothing on the inside, because it's gonna give you a pain in the butt cheeks. So let's do it again. Right there. So nothing selected from the inside. W, shift click and drag. And then what you can do here is press R. Vertex, you're gonna bring this one up. W. And bring this face a little bit down. W. This one a little lower. And let's just make sure this flows. You know, let's take this, push it down. And then let's press E to give it some rotation so it can flow down. Okay, that's what we want. Now we're gonna take these, we're gonna press W. Let's see around there. Face. So it already has our faces selected. We can tighten it up before we extrude, so we can tighten that up. W, shift click and extrude all the way out. You're gonna press R from the top to make it flow down. And we're also gonna tighten it up a little more. Right? So what we want to do here is, we want to, let me show you what I mean. So we're gonna take this and we're gonna like curve it out. There's a reason why I'm doing this, and then I'll go back and then fix it again, but you'll see what I mean. Okay. Then we'll take these two, we're gonna push it back. As you can see, and we're gonna press R. I'm trying to get that shape. Remember, this is the important part about being a 3D modeler. Sometimes you're not gonna get everything that you need, so you're gonna have to interpret it. Now, here, there is a hole, right? So we're gonna have to take this. Let me see how we approach this. Okay, we're gonna have to approach this a separate way, guys. Let's do this. What we are gonna do is we're gonna take this, we're gonna push it up to about here, and then we're gonna follow this form, right? And then we'll fix this in a minute, guys. Give me 1 second and bear with me. We're gonna push this a little more, push this a little more, right? And right in here, tight as we can, we're gonna insert another edge loop. We're gonna insert one right around here. And what we are gonna do is vertex W, take all of these, and we're gonna push them up. We're gonna insert one more here, right in the middle, vertex W, and we're gonna give it an extra curve here. And so now, oops, I moved this by mistake, I am sorry. So now this here, stop it, get some help. We're gonna take this, and we're gonna, why is it, let's do something else, guys, I'm sorry. Let's take this and go all the way through here. No, I went too far. No, I wasn't right. This is weird. Okay, let's do it this way. Let's select this group here, and then we'll grow what we need. So we're gonna grow that selection. We're gonna push it. We're gonna shrink the selection. We're gonna push it. And what we're gonna do now is we're gonna, let me see. If I press 3, let me see what happens. Yeah. So now you're gonna have to work this edge here. So let's shrink one more time. And we're gonna press R, and we're gonna tighten this up. And then we're gonna go to the neck, and we're gonna tighten that up. And now we're gonna take these two, we're gonna push them in a little bit. Right? Now we're gonna take all these 3 and we're gonna push it in more. And we're gonna take these 2 because we're kind of going too crazy, and we're gonna push it up to about here. Okay, let's see, I'm happy with that, right? Now, we need to make a hole here for this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna 2, 3, 4. Let's see if we select all 4, what happens. Okay, so this is fine. It's selecting the correct amount in the bottom. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna select all those faces, and we're gonna press bridge faces. I should get a bridge faces somewhere around here. We bridge those faces, right? Perfect. That's what we want. So once we bridge those faces, we still have some work to do. We're gonna take these vertices here. We're gonna twist them. And the same thing here, we're gonna take these and we're gonna twist them. You know, I think that's fine. Let's press W here and see what we get. That's fine, because if I press 3, it's good. We're good. We're okay. So let's keep going. So the way we're gonna do this, we're gonna do some edge beveling. So we're gonna bevel this edge. 1, 2, and we're gonna tighten it just a bit. That's fine. Now we're gonna take this edge and the inside, and we're gonna bevel those tightly. We're gonna bevel those a bit tight. Now here we're gonna be smart. We're gonna take these edges and we're gonna bevel these edges. So the whole idea is to make sure that we get nice clean geometry. Let's get back to, we'll fix this in a bit, that's fine. So see, this is what we wanted. All I'm doing is actually adding extra bevel edges. We have a bit of a situation here. There's nothing we can't handle. We just have to be smart about it. And the problem we're having is we're getting a triangle here. We do not want triangles. So what we can do is press W. We can where's my vertices? Okay, we're gonna target weld. What we want is to get rid of that. So we have quads here. That's fine. We're gonna do the same thing to this side. We want nice clean quads, right? And we're gonna add some extra cuts because we need them, because this is not clean geometry. Here it's fine because it's 4. Here it's 4, we're good. The next thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take your cut tool, one to here, one to here. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to clean your geometry, guys. I cannot stress this enough. The best thing you can do is clean geometry, because it's going to reflect in your work. So I think that's good. Let me push this one up a little more. I went too far down. I'm going to press enter. The next cleaning you have to do is you have to get rid of those edges that you don't want, that you don't need. So click, shift click, and there's nothing else going on anywhere else. So you're going to put edit mesh. Let me see, mesh tools, delete vertex. Delete, no. So you can just delete those. You want to try it out by pressing 3, nice and clean. If you see that, this is what we're looking for, guys. Okay, this is a clean model. We still have a little bit of work to do, in the sense that we have a hanging an n-gon. When you have more than 4 sides, it's called an n-gon. I'm gonna show you how to fix that n-gon. What you're gonna do is you're gonna cut from here. Try straighten it out as much as you can, and click towards the middle, because we want smooth flows. We don't want nothing weird going on. And press enter. You're gonna do the same thing here. Here, click towards the middle, more or less what you think is the middle. Press enter. Now from here, you're gonna do the same thing a few times. Click to the center here, click to here. All right, it's not letting me do it, so let's go a certain way. Let's click here to the center. That's the center, is going to tell you. That's the center here. That's the center here, right around there. And you're going to bring that to the middle. Press enter. Okay, we're going to do the same thing one more time to this side. We're going to click to where it says 50%, as close to 50% as you can. We're gonna get in there and press F. Oops. F, no, okay, I guess not. Guess it doesn't want to focus on us, guys, that's fine. So once we're at 50 there, we're gonna go to here, to about 50 again, as close as you can to 50. Perfect. One more time here to 50, as much as you can to 50, and pop that towards the middle. Enter, right? So now we're gonna have to do one more thing here before it's actually clean. because you see this is coming right to here and adding extra stuff. What you can do is, let me see if it's actually affecting it. Okay, no, it's not affecting my geometry. I thought it was giving it a dirty look, but that's okay. Now if we press 3, look how pretty that looks. If you're having an issue with certain things like the vertex here, it's no problem. Just grab it and you can press W, or you can pull it out a bit. If it's annoying, you can just as much as you can. And you can do the same thing for this side. If it's too annoying, just mess with it any way you want. Okay. I think that's fine. Let me see what's up with this one. Okay. Nice, right guys? So we press Command 1 and our lid is done. So back in the days, doing something like this was a bit complicated. I'm gonna show you how cool Maya is. So what you can do is, you can take a curve, right? Actually, no, let's not take a curve. Yeah, let's try it. I'm gonna show you two ways. Curve tools, EP curve. And I'm gonna go from here, here, here. And I'm gonna follow this shape as perfect as I can. Always click more than once in a long period, guys. From experience, if you do not do this, sometimes the curve will look awkward because it does not have enough points for you to work with, right? And what we're gonna do is here, control vertex, and let's do something else. Let's take this vertex, one of these, and let's separate it a bit. I'm gonna separate this one a bit. I'm gonna show you why. So all you need is to go at least as close as you need it to go, and then you can bridge the material. So I'm not too concerned about that. And now one of the tools that makes Maya outstanding compared to anything else, you're gonna first of all grab that curve, W, modify, center pivot, and what you wanted to do is bring it as close as you can to where you want it to be. So I want it right around there because that's, to me, I consider that the middle, and that's fine. Now here's the fun part. If you go to create, sweep mesh, you're like, what in the holy heck is that? That's not it. Check this out, guys. You can make it as thin as you want. You can make the height less, right? So we want it nice and thin. Not only that, when we do this here and we optimize it, check this out, guys. How freaking cool is that? It's all the work is done for us right now. All we have to do is bridge it and bevel the edges, guys. This is what makes Maya Maya. Now all you have to do, just bring it down a little more so it can match. W, object mode, modify center pivot. And let's bring it down so it is hanging on the cup. So let's see, okay. So now what you're gonna do is, you're gonna select everything that we've been working on. Edit, delete by type history, edit, delete by type non-deformer, modify freeze, modify center. You can delete the curve, and you can call this the strap. And what we do is strap, Command S, because we have been saving this one. And then now the fun part is edge, bridge, And now to be fair, we can take this edge, slide edge. Well, you know what? Let's, yeah, let's slide edge this. I don't want to mess with it too much. Oops. Slide edge. I'm gonna slide this out to give it smoothness. So right now I'm selecting the edges so I can bevel them out and give it that look like the actual strap has. And we can just be wild here and add more. And as you can see, we loosen it up a bit. Voila. And this is what it's all about, guys. It's about being patient and paying attention to details and trying to figure out a way to make sure that things flow smoothly. Now, I'm sorry, I had to take a drink, guys. My throat was kind of dry. So now we got a few more pieces to go. This here, it's gonna be real easy, guys. You're gonna take a plane, gonna press W, push it out, bring it up, E, J, hold on J while you rotate, click and drag, W. Now here is about logic. You're gonna work logically and then extrude. So we're gonna take a vertex, we're gonna take this one, we're gonna push it all the way out to here. I think that's good enough. Yeah. And we're gonna do this in a smart way. We're gonna insert mesh tool, insert edge loops tightly to where they're gonna be extruded, right? So that's nice and tight. I'm gonna press object mode and I'm gonna bring it over here, right? It's about that thick from the edge. Now, we're gonna do this, we're gonna press Command E, we're gonna press W, just a little bit. Now we're gonna click, shift click, W, shift click and drag, right? All the way across. So about there. I'm gonna do it one more time. So all you gotta do is, now that you have that piece, we're gonna bridge. And there we have it. As simple as that, guys. That is how simple it was to make that piece. I'm thinking I should tighten these up a bit, but I'm really happy with that. We have to do some cleaning up. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna bevel edges all together. So everything that I'm doing, guys, you need to do. All these faces need to be beveled, because if not, you're gonna get weird geometry. You can do it like, as a matter of fact, I think we can even get away with doing this. Let's try this. Yeah, we're fine with that. We can get away with that. Yeah, we can get away with that. That's beautiful. Let's just make sure we got cutting edges. Yep. Look how beautiful that is, guys. Command 1. That's how simple and beautiful that is. That's all it takes. I'm going to clean up again. I'm going to rename this first. Strap underscore adjuster underscore clip. Remember, sometimes you have to make sure that this is done to so the person that's working on it next can basically get the gist of what you're doing. But so far so good, guys. Check that out. We're gonna add one more piece, and in the third part we're gonna do the UV and texturing and all that. But I just want to make sure that you guys get a complete project from me. So now we're gonna hide all of this, right? And we're gonna work on this piece. That one piece that didn't have a name, we're gonna press H. What in the world? No, let's delete that. Sorry, that was from the old project. H. H. Jesus Christ. Okay. Now, here we have to work smart. We're gonna have to take this piece, extrude it, thin. I don't know why it's, yeah, because it goes all the way across. Okay, so this piece goes all the way across here. So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna work in a smart way. We're gonna make this center one piece clip. How do we do that? Remember, we left the face on here for a reason. Let's press F on this face, and we're gonna click, shift click to deselect, and we're gonna press R, shift click and drag. We have to be pretty guessy about this one. So let's press W, shift click and drag. Yep, we're okay with this. So now we're gonna do a few more drags here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna press down. Okay, yeah, we're gonna leave it to about there, right? There. No, we have to go below that. I'm gonna tell you why. Okay, that's fine. We're gonna W, shift click and drag to about here. That's where the next piece begins. Now from here, click, shift double click, R, and hold down shift till we get as wide as we, let's do command D better, because it's gonna give it to us nice and smooth. So let's just thickness all the way across, because that piece is about that big. Even though you don't see it, the button shows you that. Face, we're gonna do the same thing we always do. Now here, we're gonna press Command E, W. Come here, we're gonna press R, W, shift click and drag, and that piece is done, and Bob is your uncle. Now, from here, we have to create these two pieces, which is not gonna be a pain in the behind at all, because all we have to do is basically create a plane and just try to match what we have here. So let's bevel these out. Let's bevel this out and give it some structure and tighten it up a bit. We'll give it one more. These are all tight ones, so we're just gonna do them all together. When I do something like this and I grab various ones, it means they're basically as tight as we can get them, and we don't need them to be like the one I did on top that has a little bit of curvature. We don't need that. So let's leave this at 0.2, object mode, and that piece is done. And we're gonna call this blade shaft. See, it eventually comes to me. Blade underscore shaft. Now for the front part, we're gonna make two blades and we should be done. The way we're gonna approach this is we're gonna take one. Where is this that it's not lining up with my model? Huh, that's weird. That's very weird. This is the center of my model, yet my... So what happened here? Huh, something's off. Let's go back, guys. For some reason, something we're missing here, and I don't... Yeah, something got deleted. Let's go back. I'm sorry about that, guys. The other cool thing about Maya, you have unlimited undos. So let's keep going back. Okay, this is my base. Let's press Command 1, see what's going on here. Okay, guys, we're gonna have to do this again. I'm sorry. If I don't talk at this moment, guys, it's because I'm trying to catch up to where I was so I don't waste your time. I am sorry about that. I'm surprised I didn't name this one. That's very weird. Okay, that's fine. We're right back where we were. Plane. We're gonna have to rename this again. Strap. Let's just call it clip to save time and strap clip. Everything else is here. The full model is here. Okay. So now we're gonna select everything. Command click on the one that doesn't have a name again. We're gonna press H to hide it, and we're gonna do this as quick as we can, guys. I am so sorry about that. I was wondering because if I make a plane, it's supposed to pop. See, it's supposed to pop up there, but it didn't before, so that's fine. I'm gonna show you another way we can approach this. To cut time, I'm making you guys wait. We can leave that there, right? We can leave that there. Mesh tool, insert edge loop, insert one edge loop here, one here, and one here. And all we can do is take face. Okay, we can take this edge, press R, push it all the way out to where we need it to. And what we can do is bevel that edge. This is another way of doing it to save time. I don't like it sometimes, but I guess it can work for what we're doing now. Vertex, and we have to flatten this out here. R, flatten that out. And see if this is flat also. Yeah, that's fine. And we're gonna have to take this outside edge and stretch it because it's kind of like Jesus Christ. Finally, oh my god, it's been a jerk. And that's perfect. So right now I just showed you guys another way to cut around something that you need done. Sometimes again it's not how you do it, it's making sure that you get to the point of what you need to do. So sometimes you're gonna have to face challenges like this, like I just had. And you can see if you really want to make things happen, there's always, like they say, there's always ways to skin a cat. And we're gonna make these 1, 2, and no less than 0.2 object mode, and that's fine for me. And we're gonna call this the blade shaft. Blade shaft. Now we're gonna unhide everything else. No, we're not. Now we're gonna make these little blades, guys. This is gonna be the simplest thing we've probably ever done. So you're gonna take, this is what I was trying to do before, from the top. I still don't understand why this is over here. I guess it doesn't matter. I guess as long as there is a line, we line it up, so that's fine. That's fine. As long as everything is lined up, we can just push this over, so that's fine. You know what? I am being very nitpicky, guys, so I'm gonna hide this. I'm gonna select all of these. I'm gonna press W, snap to the, because I really want it in the center of my grid. I'm very picky like that, guys. If this ever happens to you, you see what happened here? It's out of sync. All you do to do something like this is you group it, you move it, modify center pivot, you center it to where you need it to be, which you know that's where it is, in the middle. If you look at it from the top, it's in the middle. You get rid of that, you edit, and you ungroup everything again. And it's right back. Because if you don't group it, this might move separately, this might move, you're gonna have a lot of issues going on. You don't want that. So we're almost done. All we have to do is the blades, and we have a finished product. And then on the next video, I'll show you how to UV everything, and then add the lettering if you want to add the lettering. So Maya has lettering, guys, but I don't trust it because it gives you issues when you export it. I rather do things hands-on that I can control and I can modify. So I think I'm gonna push this one a little bit more and just give you how I'll do the lettering, and then we'll finally finish up until the next video. So let's take everything we have, hide it, and unhide the plane. Now everything's lined up. This is what I wanted. So I'm gonna first do the bottom one. And so if you see, you have to twist it. Let's make it, yeah. Sometimes stuff like this is tricky, guys, but you have to trust your instincts. So let's change this modeling toolkit to object. And let's push our envelope. Let's say, yeah, we can push it more. So, yeah, sometimes you have to trust your instincts, guys. And what you have to do is you have to roll the dice. You have to roll the dice. And what you're gonna do is like the Transformers, no sacrifice, no victory. But that's a part of it, guys. So now vertex R, and what you're gonna do is you're gonna take these vertices and you're gonna not get them as close as you can, but don't merge them, guys, because you see, if you see here, it's very sharp, but it's not a thin blade. So that's good for me. That's giving me the look from far. The next thing you gotta do is you gotta take these edges and bevel those edges. And when you add the segments, you're gonna tighten it up to get that look. Right? So that looks pretty good. And now the fun part comes where when you take that and you press Command E, you'll get the thickness of the blade. And so if we twist this, we can bring it down because now we know that we're too high. We can bring it down and we can take the vertices, press R, and we can push them a little bit farther up. Press W and bring them a little bit down. I know it looks, it looks awkward. Let me see, they're both the same height here, so I don't know why that's doing that. But let's match it up as much as we can to where it is. And then press object mode. We're gonna finish cleaning this up and then we'll duplicate it to the top and it is done. Oh, one more thing. You have to pay attention to little details like this. So if you see here, these vertices go up. And you have to R them down and then push them up more to the thickness. Because if you look at this here, that's what it does. It pushes. I'm happy with that. So let's double click, shift double click, shift double click, shift double click. 1, 2, 3, 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And we have to bevel these. Take a look at something. Yeah, that's fine. We're gonna have to tighten that up. So that's it. Now we have a blade, and all we have to do is Command D, W, move it up a bit, E, let's straighten it. Oops, let's hold down J. Why are you being a pest? Let's straighten it out. Let's straighten it up. Let's bring it up. I think that's actually, yeah, we have to bring it up a bit. And let's twist it around, see if we have to make any adjustments. So you see the top one is bigger, so you have to press R and try to match that up. So what I suggest is match it up at the top. Because remember, we're trying to give the client that look that he's looking for. So let's see if we can match this up and then, yeah. So let's bring this up to about there. Let's bring this one to about there. And we're gonna take this, we're gonna bring it all the way down. And we're gonna press R. And we're gonna try to match that as close as we can to what we have here. So for what I'm seeing, I'm gonna have to, I guess that's fine. I'm gonna see how this looks. Yeah, so you see, I think Let's try this out. Oh, that's too thick. I think that's fine, guys. I think we're fine with this. I'm not gonna go crazy. Yeah, I'm not gonna go crazy. I think this is good enough for me. Um, the point is to make sure that it looks like what they're trying to get at. So we're gonna show everything. And Bob's your uncle, people. So into the next video, we're gonna stop here. Basically, I hope you was able to follow along. I'm sorry for any mishaps along the way. You know what? I'm gonna give you guys, just for messing up a little bit earlier, I'm gonna give you the bonus of making the letters for you. So let's do that, and then we'll end this video. So we're gonna take this, we're gonna hide everything, and we're gonna concentrate on the letters, right? So again, if you look up here, you can import, you can make text, but it's a pain in the behind when you export it, and I don't like working with that. So what do? We become creative. First, we're gonna make a cylinder. Where's my cylinder? We're gonna bring it down. We're gonna press, oops, I moved it, E, hold down. Oh, first of all, let's delete all the faces we don't need. We're gonna delete that face. Hold down J while we rotate. Oops, yeah, I'm doing this wrong. World. Hold down J while we rotate to make sure that it's straight towards the camera. And you can tell, because if you look at it from the side, it's gonna be flat. If not, you're gonna get something like that. We're gonna press R. We're gonna bring it down. And so there's a lot of ways we can do this. I'm gonna go the fastest, easiest way. I'm gonna bring it down to where I need it, and I'm gonna press R. You know what? I'm gonna duplicate this a few times because we're gonna need it a few more times. So shift click in object mode, shift click and drag, shift click and drag, shift click and, you know what? That's fine, because that one we can use again, the E. And I think the D we can flip it. That's fine. So let's just stay with those two. And actually, we need one here. Sorry. So this is done already. This was the light. This was done. And then you can press R, and then you can rotate it. So let's modify the pivots. Okay. So this one's there. This one's done. And so here, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna form the basic shape as close as I can, right? E, I'm gonna rotate it and I'm gonna form that shape. Same thing here. Here, I'm gonna take the face and I'm gonna delete the bottom half. And I'm gonna press R. And I'm gonna push that in here. W to move it up, and then we're gonna flatten it a bit. I'm happy with that. We're gonna delete this one. We're gonna take this one, W, shift click and drag, and it should be almost the same. So let's twist it into place. Let's push it a little bit more. Perfect. Everything else is gonna be a walk in the park. So let's begin. The letter B, edge, double click, Command E. We're gonna push it out, right? And what we're gonna do here is we're gonna take this vertex, press W, we're gonna push it here, or you can just flatten this, press R, press W, and push it over. And if you see, by pushing this up here, we take this edge, shift click and drag, shift click and drag, and then we press R to straighten it out. World. Let's get this right. R, vertex W. All I'm doing is getting as close as possible to what I need. Now we can take this face. Bam. Same thing here. Edge. Command E. Offset it to where you need it. Vertex W. We're going to take these and we're going to start moving these around to give it a bit of a rounded edge. We're going to leave that for now because I'm going to show you how to just extrude and curve it. So now, same thing here, edge, Command E, you're going to offset it. Vertex, you're going to take all of these, plus this, press R, flatten it, W, to about there. This one's gonna go in here. I'm gonna push this one a little bit here, a little bit here. And so we can push this, you know what, we can take these and push it here. Yep. So we're gonna have to flatten this out. W. We can leave it there. We can push this. We can twist it a bit because it has a curve. Edge. W. Shift click and drag. Move it over. Press R. Flatten it out. W. And here we're gonna have to work a little bit on this flow here. So always be mindful of that when you're working on your text. You want to make sure that everything's nice and clean as possible. But again, you know, I just want you guys to always be professional. When you do something, make sure that it's right. If it isn't, don't do it at all because it's going to represent you anywhere you go. And people talk, and bad news spreads faster than good news, especially in business. This one. So what we can do is here, press edge. And okay, this is another way of doing this. Create a curve. And from here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You can take edge, click, and then Command E. Oops, Command E, and it'll extrude that. And all you have to do is add divisions. And there we go. Now all you do is, of course, work your geometry. Make sure that it's nice and curved. But other than that, most of your work is done. You can pop this one up here. You can pop this one up here. Again, you can go crazy and modify everything to make sure that it's perfect. So me, I'm just rushing a bit. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure that you guys, you know, I don't waste your time sitting, you know, in a video all day long when. But yeah, so this is what we have. Object mode. So edit, delete by type history, edit, delete by type non-deformer, modify freeze, modify center. So now you see this vertex. What you have to do is press R and it'll flatten it up. Now it's all flat. You can delete that cylinder. And so now the rest, W, shift click and drag, it'll duplicate it. I know that's correct because I messed with it, but let's just fix this curve here. So now, if you want to work smart, all you have to do is face, object mode, right? Face, duplicate that face, press W, also select the face that you want, W, modify, center pivot, click and drag it. There we go. Vertex, take this, bring it down here. Click those, press R, press W, bring it down. And from here we can continue the rest. So shift, click and drag. The end seems to be a little lower here. Vertex, W, you're gonna put one here. Edge, shift, click and drag, bring it here. One more time. So about there. The other way you can do is you can take this yourself. So right now, this is the long way, what I'm showing you. I always try to show you many ways so you guys don't feel left out. So we're almost done, guys. So every time I do something like this and I change techniques, it's just to show you guys that there's always something that can be done more than one way, that mine is not just the best way. I do try to get you there as fast as I can and the correct way, but as you can see, anything works. I'm just shift clicking and dragging, guys, and I'm just moving my geometries around. Again, this is the long way because we're almost done. So I just want to let you guys know that, again, there's always many ways things can get done. And so on this one, you can push it, mesh tool, insert an edge loop right in the middle. You can press W, you can line that up, vertex. So, you know, I just want to make sure that you guys always know that I try to guide you as best as I can, and that my way is not the only way. There are many ways. But again, I'm the creative pirate. So I'll jump all over the place, but you guys will always get to the same result, which is getting your model to a client the right way. Let's see here. So this is not agreeing with me. Now it is. So here we can take this and shift click and drag, and now okay, we can do something like this. Okay, so now we're being smart here. What we're doing is we're using the mirror tool, object mode, mesh, separate, edit, ungroup, and we're gonna delete this one. And what we did there was just save ourselves the modify center pivot. We saved ourselves the time of going crazy by just taking something that we already have and making it work to our advantage. So how cool is this? Basically, all your work is done. All you have to do is move things around. but it is much better than having to create the T from scratch. Again, you guys can always tighten this up on your own a bit more. I'm just trying to show you that, there's always a way to get things done quicker. You're going to insert two edge loops, one here, vertex. I'm going to push one here, one there, one there, one here, edge, shift click and drag, R, W, boom. So right now, as you can see, in a matter of minutes, we've created this whole thing here. You always want to make sure it's flat, so when you click vertex, make sure you see how it looks a bit thick. Just always press R and flatten those out. We have to delete some faces, so we're going to take these, delete that, this, delete that, because we do not need those, and we're going to delete this one in here. So we have to do smart thinking here and prepare our geometry so that when we extrude it, we don't have to go crazy. So let's do this. Let's ungroup everything and let's clean up. Edit, delete all by type history. Edit, delete all by type non-deformer. Modify freeze, modify center, and we don't need this, so we can delete that. Now, here we have to be very smart on how we approach this, because mesh, I'm going to combine it as a mesh combine, because that's one letter. So I'm going to combine the mesh, clean up one more time, edit, delete by type history, non-deformer, freeze, and center. So we're going to be very smart about this, and we're going to do two steps. We're going to click every edge, and we're going to give it an offset, and then we're going to extrude. Why are we doing this? If you do not do this now, once you extrude, it's going to be very hard. So we're going to press Command E. We're going to offset just a bit. That's going to give us support, right? Just a bit. And now when we do this command, we're gonna be very careful here. We're gonna do thickness. Let's see how thick this is going. Command E, push some more thickness. Command E, and we're gonna push some more thickness. So now all we have to do is, if we press 3, we just have to, it's almost there. The work is almost done. If not, this would have been a longer process. So now all you have to do is take these edges and bevel them. So edge, we want that, we want that, we want that. We don't need the middle. All we need is the corners. Because all the middles, by us doing that step that I just showed you, the circles are already toughened out, so we don't need that. All we need is these corners, these sharp corners, to bevel out. Only the corners, guys, nothing else. Everything else that's curved will fall into place once we smooth out. But we do need all the corners to be sharp. Again, if we press 3, the insides are fine. We just need the edges, the sharp edges. We're almost there, guys. Almost there. Huh, something went wrong here, guys. You see? Anyways, we'll bevel these and then I'll fix that out. I'll fix this one manually. So if we press 3, we press object mode, everything else is fixed except the T, see? So now I'm gonna show you a different way. This is why I like showing you guys when things go wrong or you don't select something. It's easier to do just one letter than do all of them. So we're gonna edge loop and we're gonna change this to equal distance from the center. So we want this to be perfect squares from where we're working. So let me see if I missed any. So see, everything flowed all the way around. And if I press 3, it's going to show you if, yeah, I missed a few. I'm going to press 1 again. And you know you missed a few because here you need a square to sharpen that edge. Here you need 1. So we have 3 there, we have 3 there, and we have 3 there. And now if we press 3, we have our logo, guys. The best thing about this is once Q1. So we're gonna smooth this out. The best thing about this is that you created it, so you know how to manage your UV, and if you export it, you know it's gonna be clean, and it's not gonna give you something that Maya just created. So I'm gonna press Mesh, Smooth, Object Mode, and let's take a look at how it looks. Look how beautiful that looks. Now I'm gonna show you something else. I'm gonna bring this out. Press W, modify center. Okay. I'm gonna unhide everything else, right? And I'm gonna bring the logo and I'm gonna show you how to wrap it against this because it takes the form of that. You might have remember we did this before, but I'm gonna show you now how to do this with the letters. So how are we gonna do this? The first thing you want to do from the side view is make sure that this matches the angle of what you're working on. This is very important, guys. So we're gonna take it out and see that that is just all right. And we're gonna probably have to add a little more cleanness to it. W and push it in a little bit. So you don't want it. Let's look at it from another angle because I think I may be pushing it too hard. See here. So I want it around there. Now what you're gonna do is we're gonna add a deform to this. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So what we're gonna do is deform, nonlinear bend. We're gonna go to our attribute editor and we're gonna bend. It's actually in the wrong direction, so we're gonna press E, hold down J, straighten it out there, and bring it this way. That's straight, and all you have to do is just push it around so it hits the the bottle the correct way. Make sure that it's not sinking into the product. Let's change this to 40 to see what happens. Let's try 29. And let's see how far that is from the product. 29.75. Let me see something. Let's try to see. I mean, it's as close as we can get. I just don't want this to be. I think that's actually noisy. So yeah, guys, this is probably as good as we're gonna get. Let's see if I press W and get the actual model closer. Yeah, we can't push too much because we're gonna lose it. So I think this is as best as we're gonna get. So thank you guys for staying this long in the video. We will work on this a little more to make sure that we get this as tight as possible. Oh, you know, I actually figured it out right there. Okay. It's still a bit distant for my liking, but we'll figure it out. I think we will try the wrap. So I'm gonna get out of this. You already saw how to do it. If you want to try that, in the next video, I'm gonna show you how to try to shrink wrap it to what we want. So guys, thank you for watching my video. As always, I'm the Rum Soak Pirate, Creative Pirate. You guys have a great day. Take care.